Divination is a practice in how to read energy. The truth is, everybody has psychic and intuitive abilities. They either know that they do and they use the abilities, or they use the abilities not knowing that they're using them, or they're completely cut off from the capacity and are operating completely in the rational mind. We all have a natural gut feeling and intuition. If you notice, a lot of salespeople and business people who aren't particularly spiritual will talk about getting a gut feeling when they make decisions, or like going with their gut. And that's basically the preliminary steps to activating and tuning into your intuition, is just using your gut, using your feeling capacity. They say that women have stronger intuitions than men, but I actually don't think that's true. I think both women and men are capable of being equally intuitive, but because our society accepts emotion more in women, we've had more of a chance to fine-tune the ability, whereas men who shut off or cut off their emotions aren't as in tune with using the intuitive capacity. Divination tools are a really great method to... Divination tools are really great for beginner intuitives and people who are learning how to tune into their psychic abilities. The way that these tools work is through the hologram effect and through mirroring. So we live in a holographic reality, meaning that it's a reflection, a reflection, a reflection. And in a quantum sense, everything is constantly mirroring back to you what you are projecting. You're projecting your reality, and the background, which is the other people, are like the extras or the reflections of what you're putting out, as well as your environment as well is reflecting back to you what you're putting out. Everything that you're projecting through your thoughts and through your feelings and your emotions is being mirrored back to you in your environment. This reality feels very physical and real, but it's very similar to what we would actually define as the dreaming state, where when you're dreaming, it's your own subconscious mind that is projecting and creating everything you're experiencing. It feels very real when you're in it, but it's just a projection. The way divination tools work is it's a tool to reflect back to you as a mirror in your hands what your current energetic state is. So there's so many different tools that do this. We have literally thousands of divination methods, and it ranges everything from scrying mirrors to coffee cup readings, dowsing rods, runes, tarot. In our modern society, we would think these things are pretty ridiculous and crazy, but they've been being used for thousands of years, and there's lots of records of royals, monarchs, people in power who have been using these methods and who employ people who are diviners to give them predictions, to tell them how to rule, what decisions they need to make next. We're seeing a resurgence right now of all these divination tools because people are becoming, once again, more in tune with their intuition and feelings, and we're moving from the head back into the heart, back into the gut, into the intuitive capacity towards the feminine energy. I personally believe that most people use their intuition probably daily, but are not aware that they're using it. They might be thinking that their decisions are coming from a rational place, but it's usually coming from an intuitive place. There's a really interesting book by an author named Malcolm Gladwell called Blink, and he says that usually the first impulse, which is coming from your intuitive mind, your subconscious, is the right decision. Usually when people follow that initial impulse that they get, they're trusting their intuition, they're going with what they feel right away. They're not second guessing, they're not doubting and lingering and going back into the rational mind. When you act from your feeling state, from your intuition, you're tuning in as if you're an antenna, you're tuning into the quantum field and you're accessing different states of information. So it's a lot more complex. It's like connecting to Wi-Fi as opposed to using a limited set of data in a processing computer without any internet connection. So your intuition is your access point to the whole etheric field, to the quantum field, to everything that's going on around you. There's a lot of science that goes into what intuition and divination relates to. The more you practice using your intuition and using these divination tools to help you develop your intuition, the stronger and stronger your faith in your intuition is going to get. When I first started tuning into my abilities, my intuitive abilities, it felt like I was just making it up. And that's sort of how it's meant to feel. It's sort of just a feeling of faith and trust. And what you're doing is you're building self-trust, which is the most important thing, because if you can't trust yourself, then you're just trusting everyone around you. You're trusting people who don't always maybe have your best interests in mind. You're trusting the experts, and there's no replacement for building the relationship with yourself where you can trust yourself. There's no more fears, there's no more doubts, and you literally get to a place where you just know, that you know, and you become a person with this unshakable confidence, because at first you might not be sure, but you'll get proven time and again with your experiences. You'll be like, okay, I intuitively felt, that I should have made that investment, and I did, and it paid off. Or you'll be like, okay, like I intuitively felt that I shouldn't talk to this person, and later you find out that there's something really toxic about them. So you'll get proven time and time again. When you follow your intuitive impulses, you'll get the material proof, and then that'll serve to strengthen your confidence in what you're feeling. It'll show you that you're not crazy. You are tuning into something real. And it's so hard sometimes because we're never taught this stuff conventionally. It literally kind of makes you feel crazy because you're just like, no one else is really thinking like this. It's very much a process of faith. Just like all religions of the world have always preached faith, this is just faith in yourself. So divination tools, first of all, they're really fun. Second of all, they usually represent the cyclical steps of life and nature. So life tends to follow a circular pattern. We tend to go in cycles, just like the seasons, just like how the planets revolve around the sun, just how like the earth spins on an axis. Things go in a cyclical pattern where you tend to go through the steps and you repeat, just like the days of the week, you repeat. So the divination will show you what step you're at in the journey and what you need to do next. A real energy reader will never tell you that there's a fixed future or a fixed outcome, because in a quantum sense, the future is always changing. A lot of people are scared of getting divination readings because they're afraid they're going to get something horrible, and they don't understand that everything is malleable and can be changed, because we live in a world of infinite quantum possibilities, and you can tap into any other possibility at any given time. Even things in the tarot that scare people are totally misunderstood. A lot of people are afraid, for example, of the death card in the tarot. The death card is actually one of the most positive cards. It means a death of a cycle or a death of a situation, and usually deaths bring new beginnings. Really, you just have to trust what kind of reader you're working with, and you practice your intuition, use your intuition, and feel whether this person is someone you can trust or not. I personally give divination readings. If you are interested, you can sign up to get a reading with me through my website. I highly encourage getting divination readings with intuitives that have good energy and learning through them how to navigate situations in your life and how you can learn to use divination in your everyday life as well, because divination will show up in the reflection of your environment. It could be a song on the radio or a billboard that you're passing on the freeway. You always want to be paying attention to the hologram, to the reflection, and to the signs that are all around you.